Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in mid-June 2026? What are the energies, messages, insights that we could take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius in mid-June. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have some fun, my good friends. There we go. Cool. So I feel like I've seen this card a couple times in recent weeks. Not sure if you've gotten her, but I always like the symbolism because it looks like it's two people, but I theorize that they are one and the same. It's a very imaginative water sign-esque type of energy, which I think is really good. There's some like positives that we can glean from this. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye. You know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So if you've been watching my readings for a while, you've probably seen this card a time or two. It does show up often, or semi-often, right? We have the little clown ballerina down here taking a little nap, having a snooze, and this one up here on the tightrope walking around. Now, to me, the thing I like about this is that it could be a future focused mindset where they're not two separate people. It's her dreaming about doing this. So it's like hopes, dreams, visualization, looking forward to the future, which I think is a great thing because obviously thoughts become things, right? So there could be some importance around that quote in this time. Thoughts become things. That's a huge thing here. It's like very imaginative, creative, and forward pushing. That's what I like about it. But the downside, sometimes this energy could be a little lethargic, right? It could be a little tired. It could feel a little zapped, but it can also overthink. It can overimagine. Nothing wrong with daydreaming, nothing wrong with imagination. But sometimes if you stay there too long, it could get into the realm of overthinking. So just watch out for that in this time. You might be a little more thinking outside the box than you usually do, which could be great for any sort of like creative or artistic endeavor. But yeah, there's this energy that's in the mind, in the head, but at least looking forward. So we're going to let her chill right there. She could have her nap. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you three tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Aquarius Collective. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled A Massive Breakthrough. And the reason it felt like that to me last week is because in the front of the reading, I felt like this pressure building, building, building. And when we got to the back end of the reading, it's like that pressure releases. And it felt good for most of you. Now, obviously, whenever there's a breakthrough of energies, for some of you, it could be very great and propel you forward. For others, it could even be uncomfortable, though, because when pressure builds for a while and eventually bursts through, things get a little hectic for a time. So just, I would say over the coming days and weeks, just keep your head on a swivel. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. Three cards here for my beautiful Aquarius friends. What do we have in mid-June? Thank you. Okay. Total opposites. All right. Total opposites. So we start off with one of the happy go lucky, one of the better cards, in my opinion, with the Three of Cups right here on the front. But then right in the center, we have the Five of Cups. These cards are complete opposites, yin to the yang, right? Like these energies are exact bookends. Let's get one more. Let's get one more. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Solid, stable, interesting. So your energy is presenting itself in a very unique way, more so than it usually does. I love the elemental mixture. That's one really good thing we got going for us this week, Aquarius. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like it frames the reading, tells us how comfortable we might be with the energy, or how it's going to flow at least. And the combination you got going this week is really great. We have a mixture of water, and earth. Now, the water is the most predominant, and we're going to have to look into that. But when you combine water and earth, to me, that represents blessings, abundance, and growth, right? Like, what do you do to a plant? What do you do to your garden? You have to water it, right? So the combination of these are really good. But when it comes to water, that's matters of the heart. That's internal, matters of emotion. And remember when we looked at the little ballerinas, I was saying it's like very watery, imaginative type of energy. This is very similar. Now, water energy could represent partnerships and connections. It could represent anything, situation that we are emotionally invested in. It represents things that we care about. I like it for its creativity, its imagination, its outside of the box type of thinking. Those are all beautiful positives of this watery energy. But again, it's emotional, right? And just like the tides, they ebb and flow. Just they go out, they come back in, and that's the downside of the water element, is that sometimes these tides can move a little too much, right? Or like it's really, really high, low, low. It's like not as middle ground. And we'll see. That's gonna be a dynamic I think we're gonna have to contend with this week, like the ups and downs. And on the back end, not so much, right? We got the earth, solid, stable, predictable. When I see Earth, I think of results. I think of security, stability, routine, day to day life, money, work, business, finance. All of that is under the Earth umbrella. It could also be home and family. So the material world. So it's like we have the outer world and the inner world showing up here. But the inner world is taking much more of the energetic weight. But the downside to the earth is sometimes it can feel stuck. So remember, I said last week I felt like a pressure building. The same can kind of be said here. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a beautiful card. And that's one thing I want to mention about the main part of the spread is like the Three of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. These are both classically very positive leaning cards. So just because we got the Five of Cups in the center, we're not getting freaked out about it. But we see these three people here, they're raising a toast, right? They're celebrating. Now, I know this card gets a bit of a bad reputation. People see the Three of Cups, they think third party this, third party that. And yes, it can be that. All threes in tarot can represent group dynamics, groups of people. So whether it's friends, coworkers, family, going to a barbecue, whatever it is, these are like get-togethers. But the thing I always focus on with the Three Cups is that it's fun. It represents happiness, joyousness, merriment. These are people cutting loose and doing things that they enjoy with people they enjoy being around. So to me, I always call this a win until something shows me otherwise, right? Now, the downside to the Three of Cups is sometimes it's an energy that can go a little too far. Nothing wrong with having a good time, nothing wrong with fun, but sometimes the Three of Cups can have a little bit too much fun, right? Like sometimes this energy can, anything out of balance can become harmful. And I'm not trying to like raise the alarm, but that's the downside of this card. And it can also represent funky group dynamics, right? So we're going to have to look at it. I'm going to call it a win until something shows us otherwise. Now, as we get this tucked right back in by the amethyst, we're going to talk about the very next card over. Now, emotional ups and downs, that is to be expected. It's natural. We all go through them. But going from Three of Cups to Five of Cups is pretty drastic, right? Now, this is called the River of Tears for a reason. And there's good aspects to this card. Obviously, it could represent problems, it could represent difficult situations, difficult time periods that we're going through. Um, but with the challenge cards, with the tough situations, I always say it's on a spectrum. Maybe there's just a couple days are a little bit gloomy. Maybe you're having some anxiety or stress. But this can also be someone that's literally crying, like really upset, emotional outpours, right? This person's crying a river. The good thing about this card, though, is that it represents temporary, right? Like, because there's still two cups that are standing. There's still stuff off in the horizon. So, any of you that may be in a difficult time period, just know that like there's a temporary aspect to it, that it's not going to be a forever thing, which could be great. So when we go for these two are like sending us into a little bit of a whirlwind, right? Because they're two complete opposite sides of the coin. So we really do want to clarify. Again, maybe this is you and maybe that's someone else, or maybe that's you and that's somebody else. We're just going to have to see. Now on the back end, we do have the Nine of Pentacles. This is much more middle ground, right? We see this lady, she's in her backyard, she has her bird surrounded by the pentacles, just solid, stable, just overflowing blessings and abundance. So I love this card. It's one of my gardening cards too, by the way. When I see her, I love it. I think it's nice and predictable in a way as well. It's like an inevitable win at some point, which is really nice. Um, the I mean, she could also be independence, right? Like the, and I know most Aquarians do have that independent streak where it's like I'll do it myself type of energy. That's what she encapsulates. So she's great for any entrepreneurial things. But the downside to the Nine of Pentacles is that she could be too set in her ways. Sometimes this is an energy where it's like I'm so close to a win, but I'm like right at the finish line, but I'm not crossing it. And it's like I have almost everything, but I'm missing that one little piece. So to me, it is a win, but it could be better if that makes sense. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on at Three of Cups? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Three of Cups time. How is it here? Thank you. Cool. Kind of feels like a vacation. I mean, I think that's cool. So the Queen of Swords, that's another one of your power cards. And this is an energy where it's like, I just need some time to get out of my mind. I just need some time to get out of my head. I just need to switch something up, change something up. Because one thing about the Queen of Swords, and remember, it's not gender specific. It could be any air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. She's usually very straightforward, to the point, honest, shrewd. That's a good thing. But she can also be very serious, right? Like she is not messing around. She is not playing games. She is about her business. And again, there's nothing wrong with that type of way of being. But when I see her in reverse, underneath the Three of Cups, it's like, I need to let loose. I need to have fun. I need to do something enjoyable. And that's why I said it felt like a vacation to me. Now, it doesn't mean that every Aquarius in the world is going to go on holiday or go on vacation, but that's just maybe some of you might need that. That's very possible, right? And it's good to do those types of things. Now, for another portion of you, this could actually be really good because with her in reverse and the Three of Cups, it's like there is something good coming my way that I did not plan for. So could this be an unexpected winner victory or a surprising one? Absolutely. Because one thing about the Queen of Swords to me is that she sees things coming before they happen, right? Like she's so smart, so intelligent, so about the facts that like she sees things coming before they actually show up. When she's in reverse, it's kind of like a blind side. So we do have this fun, relaxing type of energy on the front. I don't think it's bad. Hopefully, it is an unexpected one. That's very possible. And everyone's definition of fun and having a good time are totally different. So I'm not going to give you suggestions. You would know what works for you. But I'm just going to keep moving. I think it's okay. We could call it a win if we want. But let's see what's up with the Five of Cups. That's what I really want to see, like how it all plays out, because we have three different modes of energetic transportation, right? It's like we got the good, lighthearted, we have the depressed and sad, and then we have the stoic middle ground. So I just want to see how they all show up. Let's go in on the Five of Cups. Okay. Mm, okay. So we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay. What's this energy that I just can't let go of? Or this energy that yeah, it's this very hard energy to shake. It's a very, very hard energy to shake. You know, like where there's some things like the more you think about it, or even like with the more time passes, it's like, oh, I thought I'd be feeling better by now, or I thought this wouldn't bother me as much by now. It's giving me echoes of this. Now, again, there is no timetable on healing. There is no timetable on getting over things or getting over situations. But like when I see the Five of Cups with the Chariot in reverse, it's like, how can I move forward here, right? Because remember, the Chariot, Cancer energy, it's all about forward momentum, forward movement. It can represent travel, distance, all that kind of stuff. But the Chariot is blasting forth with tons of determination. So when I see it in reverse under the Five of Cups, it's like I'm having a hard time moving forward. I do have this bit of a stuck feeling in the center. So, like, are we picking up frustration? Yeah, we are. And again, it's not so black and white. But I think overall, there should be an emotional warning attached for the next week or so, because the what is being shown to me are two totally different vibrational frequencies. Now, if this is you and this is somebody else, it's only temporary, right? If this is you one day and you later that day, that might be something worth looking into, right? Because like those big extreme emotional swings, again, this could be somebody else too. You might be fine. This might be you, the Nine of Pentacles. But there might be someone where there's a certain volatility where it's high, high, low, low. We're going to keep going. There is an emotional warning here. Let's keep going. Let's see what's up with the Nine of Pentacles. Sometimes the Chariot in reverse can represent something popping back up too or returning, but I'm not going to attach that just yet. We'll see when we get to the Nine of Pentacles, right? Yeah, because I did see like something popping up that you don't see coming, but why would that make you sad? Let's go in on the Nine of Pentacles, see what's up with that. Okay. All right, so we got our good friend here, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard, but he's in reverse this time, right? If he was in the upright, I'd be like much more excited about this alignment on the back end. Now, I do feel like, especially with the Kings, because remember, Kings represent control of their respective suit. Um, there is this energy that seems to be trying to coach itself or receive coaching. So for any Aquariuses, like mindset practices, mantras, and things like that, there's just something here about like trying to coach my own mindset, coach my own subconscious mind, try to shift my own perspective, which I find very intriguing, which I think is good. But remember, the king, he represents control of his suit. If you're not connected to a water sign, remember what I was saying about the water. It's emotional, matters of the heart, things we're emotionally invested in. Normally, he is that nice middle ground. So when he shows up in reverse underneath this Nine of Pentacles, it's like, I don't know what to do with these feelings. I don't know what to do with these emotions. It's like I'm feeling these things, but I don't know where to put them. I don't know how to categorize them. So I think in this time for a lot of people in the collective or even those around you, there's a certain complexity to the emotional vibrational frequencies that I'm picking up for Aquarius this week, which is very intriguing to me because usually Aquariuses are very good at figuring stuff like that out, right? Like, oh no, that's what this is. This is what's affecting me. That's why I'm reacting this way. There's a certain nuanced complexity this week. So I do think the emotional warning is still in play. That's for sure. But do I see it calming down? Damn right I do. Do I see it calming down and improving? Of course I do on the back end here. But it's a process, right? So there is something here about mindset, subconscious reprogramming, reframing things. Like that's another thing. So do with that what you will. But let's go through and do a quick little recap. So there's good energy here for sure, but then there's like this energy that's a bit of a bummer at the same time. But if you look in the box, position number one, we got the Three of Cups with the Queen of Swords in reverse. Hey, nice. Some of you might need a little vacation or a holiday, right? I need to some time to just get out of the mind or do something you enjoy and have fun for the sake of having fun. But for another portion of you, yeah, maybe this is a win or a victory that you don't see coming. That's unexpected or surprising. Beautiful. We'll take it. But moving to the middle, we have the Five of Cups with the Chariot in reverse. There's this energy that's just really difficult to shake. And I'm having a hard time categorizing it, right? Like we got the high highs and the low lows, and it's just so complex and nuanced. And even if it's something that's not new, there's a complexity to it. So there is an emotional warning this week where it's like things or people, like their energies are just fluctuating. On the back end, we have the Nine of Pentacles with the King of Cups in reverse. So again, the mindset, mindfulness, mantras, all that stuff would actually be a great help. But for another portion of you, there's a complexity to the feelings where it's like, I don't know where to put them. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this going here. What do we have in the shadows for Aquarius? Thank you. Cool. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, that's an energy that's like trying to get its bearings straight, which I think is nice. In the good, positive sense, the Two of Pentacles in the shadows could be things starting to come into balance. So when we're getting the emotional warning and we're getting the ups and downs, it would make sense that this card would show up, especially with this one trying to like plant itself where it's like, no, I'm trying to keep this locked. But the downside to the Two of Pentacles is sometimes it's an energy that's juggling. That's literally what the person's doing. So try your best not to overwhelm yourself, put too much on your plate, the overthinking, all that stuff with the Two of Pentacles, because sometimes it's just an energy that's dealing with too much too soon or too much at once. So there is something here about pacing with situations, pacing what you put on your plate when we see him in the shadows. But again, these emotional complexities, I do feel like over time they should also work themselves out, hopefully. So we're going to leave it at that, Aquarius. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, the winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.